Hi everybody and welcome. I'm Tammy with Nutmeg Notebook. I'm so excited to be able to share with you today all about the Vitamix summer sale because it's amazing. As many of you know, back on Mother's Day, we had a great, oh, I'm hearing myself. Sorry. There we go. We had a great Mother's Day sale with the Vitamix. It was so successful that they have brought it back. And so we're super excited to share that with you. I see that Jesse and Randy are already in the chat, living it up, having a great conversation. That's so much fun. Thank you, ladies, for joining us. They're moderators. They will help us moderate. What?
Ask him how's the sound.
Oh, how's the sound? Tom wants to know. He's over here going, like, I don't know that sign language. So anyway, how does it, Randy says, I'm hearing you. Great, sounds great. All right, fantastic, wonderful. It is a cloudy, weird day here. We have had triple-digit heat for a couple of weeks. And today we went for a walk this morning and it was a beautiful breeze blowing. It was wonderful. I know that has nothing to do with Vitamix, but I just have to share that because as I'm standing here, I am looking out all of my kitchen windows and I can see that it's overcast out there today and it just looks so much cooler, and I can't tell you how happy I am that it's not 112 degrees today. So we have lots to share about what's going on with Vitamix. As you know, we are affiliates with the Vitamix company. We started using a Vitamix blender years ago. We loved it so much. They asked us if we wanted to be affiliates and we said yes because we love your product. And so we only promote and support the businesses that have products that we actually do use. And I had a different high-powered blender before the Vitamix. I actually returned it to Costco because I was having so many issues with it, and I got the Vitamix instead, and I have been a happy camper since. I use it pretty much every day for something, and it's fantastic. So the Vitamix company is in Ohio, and we've actually been there and toured the factory. We have seen how the machines are made. We have seen the care that goes into them. They have extremely wonderful customer service. We know people, we have friends here that are in their 70s and 80s that have been using their Vitamix blenders for like 30 years. I've talked to other people who inherited their parents' Vitamix, still going strong. So they have an incredible reputation. They are built to last, and if you take good care of it, you can pass it down from generation to generation. Oh, Tom's got the volume up on his computer. Okay, you're gonna have to turn that down too. Okay, so first up, we want to tell you about the V1200. It is the first Vitamix that we purchased. We actually bought ours at Costco, the first one that we got. And we absolutely fell in love with it. It does such a great job, and they have a certified recondition. You can buy the non-certified as well, but this is such a good deal that this is the one that I want to bring to your attention first. As we know, many of you picked it up on the Mother's Day sale. It's almost too good to pass up. So the certified V1200 normally would sell for $349.95, and Vitamix is giving you $100 off. Then if you use our affiliate link, you get an additional $50 off. You only get that if you use our link. If you just go to the website and purchase it, you'll just get the $100 off. But if you use our link that is in the notes underneath this video, it will automatically give you an additional $50 off at checkout, which is fantastic. So I want to tell you a little bit about it. So I just want you to know that the bases of all of the full-size Vitamix blenders are the same. They all have the same motor. We hear from a lot of you who say, I don't know which one to buy. It's so confusing. Which one is the best one? They are all extremely good. They all will do the same things. So you can blend, you can dry chop vegetables in it, you can make smoothies in them, you can make hot cheese dip, you can make hot soups in them. You can do the same functions with all of them. It's just that they have different features. So they might have all analog control, or they might have presets. They will have different size carafes that go on them. So what you get with the Reconditioned V1200 is the same base that's on all the other blenders. You will get a 64-ounce carafe that sits on top. And then I cut my thumb, so I'm having a little trouble opening things this morning. But the carafe,
what did you cut your thumb on?
I cut it on the food processor cutting blade. They are sharp, you have to be careful. But I was, rinsing everything and drying everything and going too fast, as my husband would like you to know. But he glued my thumb back together, so I'm in good shape now. He's over here laughing.
You weren't going to tell them, huh?
I wasn't going to tell him, but he glued my thumb back together. So I'm good. I'm all good. Okay, so the little top has this plug. The plug allows a little bit of an air gap. So when you're blending a hot soup in here, then it allows that steam to escape, which is great. It also functions as a little measuring cup. So 30 milliliters, 15 milliliters, or 1 ounce and a half ounce, which is really nice. Let's say you're making hummus and you need to add some lemon juice to it. You can just pull the center plug out and measure right in there. Makes it super easy to do. So it has a fixed stainless steel blade in it, so you don't have to remove the blade when you go to wash it. Now the V1200, if I had this, I don't think I can plug it in. Can I plug it in? Let me see.
Yeah, I'm not using
Yep,
this.
I can. Here we go. That's great. So there is an off-on switch on the side of it. So you just flip that off and on. Here we go. And then you have the pulse function. Here is pulse. And then this is your off-on. And then you have a manual dial in the center. So you always want to start it on low and then ramp up as you're blending. But if you start on low, that keeps everything from doing a big splash and getting all over the top of it. So you start out low and then you can ramp it up. So, so you have the pulse feature, which allows you to have control. Let's say you're making salsa in it. I'll put my tomatoes in there, my onion, garlic, jalapeno, and then you can use the pulse function so that you can control if you want it to be thick and chunky or if you want it to be smoother. So you can do the pulse until you get it to the consistency that you like. Now, if you want to make it completely blended, then you can just use the off-on. Also, for like soups, if you make a soup in here, it will actually get hot. This does not have a heating element in it, but what it does have is the friction of the blades moving so fast that it creates heat, and you can actually make a hot soup right in this, which is so fun. I have a carrot ginger soup recipe. I think we have a video on it here on YouTube for you, so that you can see how to make that. My chipotle nacho cheese sauce we make in the blender, and it's hot at the end of it, ready to serve. Tom's got a question.
I did just post in the show notes that Tammy had me make a Vitamix playlist, which has both recipes and some product demonstrations and reviews in it. I haven't put them in order yet, but they're all in there. And I just put that link in the show notes and in the chat. So I did list all of the things you mentioned theoretically are in that playlist.
Nice.
Which I'll have to
Fantastic.
verify. All right.
So also, if you guys want to ask questions, you can go ahead and ask me questions. Just preface those in the comments with 2 or 3 question marks at the beginning and the end. That'll help them pop out at me. Also, Randy and Jesse will make sure that I don't miss anything. And Tom's over here also monitoring, so he can take a look at that for me as well.
I'm just trying to keep Randy and Jesse in line.
I think they probably try to keep you in line. Also, the V1200 has the wireless connectivity, and so it knows what size container you've put on it. It also will allow you to use the Vitamix food processor attachment. Tom's going to pop that over here so we can see. And so only 2 of the Vitamix series, the Ascent and the Venturist, have the technology to be able to use the food processor on them. And so the V1200 allows you to do that. So, so you can get this for $199.95. It's like the least expensive way to get into the Vitamix blender system, and you will still get a 5-year warranty with it, and it's just fantastic. So I use my food processor attachment all the time. I absolutely love it. I have a very expensive, very heavy duty Cuisinart that I was not happy with. It's actually out in the cabinet in the garage right now because once I got the Vitamix food processor attachment, I quit using the Cuisinart altogether. So it's a really great workhorse. They do have a special on it as well, and I'll go over that with you all when we get done talking about the blenders. So one thing that you need to know about the blenders is that you have to have enough liquid in them or enough content in them to cover the blades in order for them to do a good job. So if you are going to just try to whip up a small amount of some type of a sauce or a small amount of salad dressing, you won't have success with that in the 64 ounce. You need to be able to cover those blades. You can buy a smaller carafe to go on the V1200. I actually have a, Tom, you hand me a one of those. Show me the blue, give me the blue one maybe, just to show them. You can get, thank you honey, you can get a 48 ounce and then you can do smaller quantities in the 48 ounce. So the big 64 ounce, I love to use this. I'll make a double batch of hummus in it. You can make a single batch of hummus in it too. A single batch for me is using 2 cans of garbanzo beans. You can do like my salad dressings in it because, you know, they make a couple of cups, and so you can do it, use it for that. I make my pancake batter in it, my oat waffle batter in it as well. They clean up beautifully. What you need to know about cleaning them is to rinse them out as soon as you are done blending something in them. Take it to the sink and rinse it out. Then I'll put a couple cups of water in it and a drop of dish soap, put it back on here and run it for about 45 seconds at about 8 or 9 speed, and it will get clean. It'll splash up and get the top clean. If you've used something in it that is sticky, then you'll probably need to do a little bit of elbow grease with a dishcloth to help get off anything that's stuck on it. But processing it like that, blending it with the water, hot water, and the dish soap will get the blades all nice and clean. I never have to worry about getting down underneath that blade to clean it. And so the trick is just do it right away. If it starts to get cloudy, one thing that will cause that is not drying it, especially if you live where there's really hard water. So I do suggest that you wash it and then dry it with a towel. But this one I've been using for probably, I don't know, maybe 3-4 years at least. And you can see that it is cloudier than this newer one. And that's just from a lot of using it every day. So I don't worry about that. Now, the reason this one is blue, they have some carafes that you can get, some containers that are colored, and that's for like food allergies, food sensitivities. And so like this, they come in, I think 3 colors, blue, yellow, and I think there's one other color, but I can't think of it right now. But anyway, if you have somebody in your family,
Red, blue, yellow, and red.
I don't think it's red.
Blue, yellow, and purple.
Oh yeah, I think it is purple. I think you're right. Good job, honey. But if you have somebody with food allergies, then you can make sure that you keep their food separate from whatever allergen they have. Yes.
So there is one bundle promotion that includes that particular unit.
Okay.
The A3500 Blue Sky bundle, which gives you the 64 ounce as shown and the blue carafe, and it's $100 off.
Nice.
$749.95.
Nice. So there are a lot of different bundles. So when you get to the sale page, take a look at it, and Tom's going to bring it up here. And there's bundles that you can get where you will, have a substantial savings getting something bundled with another item, or you will be able to buy things separately. So if you don't want the bundle, so there you can see the certified reconditioned Venturist V1200. It shows as $249.95, but if you use our link to access that page, when you get to checkout, it will recognize our affiliate link and it will give you an additional $50 savings on this, and you'll get the 5-year warranty. So what you will get with it is, of course, you will get the base. You will get the 64-ounce container. You will get a tamper. And what this does is, like when I'm making a really thick green smoothie, or I'm making my hummus, or you're making peanut butter, because you can put your raw nuts in here. You can make your own peanut butter, cashew butter, macadamia nut butter. Then what this does, it allows you to push the food or tamp the food down into the blades. But of course, as you can see, it is made specifically so it does not reach the blade. So it's perfectly safe to use. So this is fantastic. My other high-powered blender did not have a tamper, and I love being able to have the tamper to help those thick things get in. So, and then you will also get the cookbook with it, the Simply Blending cookbook. It has a wide variety of recipes in there to help you learn how to make smoothies and dips and dressings and soups, and it's a nice little way to get started using a Vitamix if you've never had a high-powered blender before. And if you haven't had one before, you will be amazed at what a great job they do in making everything really creamy and smooth and silky. But if you want to make something chunky, you're able to do that as well. Okay, so also there is is the stainless steel container, the 48-ounce stainless steel container on the
it's
sale?
in one of the bundles, yes.
Oh, it's in one of the bundles.
Let me
Okay.
take
So
a look.
there's lots of different options. So who would this be good for? The V1200 would be great for anybody who wants a high-powered blender. Okay, Tom's going to show us something.
So in the top row is the A3500, the flagship Ascent series with the 48-ounce container.
Oh yes, there it is.
And
And
then
that's this one here. You want to hand me the
What that looks like with it.
container, and I can show them that. So this is the stainless steel 48-ounce stainless steel container.
Oh, let me go back to
and
that.
and Tom wanted this because he loves how it looks, and so he thought, oh, that would look really cool sitting on the blender base on the kitchen counter. And we do use it. It works great. I love it. I feel like it really keeps hot things hot and it keeps cold things cold.
But we don't know why.
But it just does. But it just does. And so that bundle is this one here with the Ascent, which also has the self-detect system as well. So I use both a 48-ounce container and a 64-ounce, just depending on what I'm blending at the time. So this is a really good way to enter into getting into a Vitamix high-powered blender. These would make great wedding gifts for somebody going off to college, because they can make so many things in this just in their dorm room. So or gift it to yourself. We know a lot of people right now are buying Christmas gifts early, and they're getting them to give to people as a Christmas gift as well. And so the V1200, when you get it, it has been certified reconditioned. That means that they have a special department right there at the factory in Ohio that goes through and checks everything. So let's say somebody bought this at Costco. They thought they were going to, start making smoothies, and then they didn't, and they return it. Then Costco takes and ships it back to Vitamix. Vitamix has their workers go through and check everything, make sure that it's all in good working condition, that there's no scratches or dents on anything, and then you will get a new carafe. So anything that touches food, you will get a new tamper and you will get a new carafe. The blade, they steam clean those so they can sterilized so they can reuse that. But the carafe will be a brand new carafe, and your tamper will be a brand new tamper. And then they have a 17-point certification process that they go through. They check 17 different things on it to make sure that it's in really fantastic work order before they send it out to you. And then you still get a 5-year warranty on it. So it's a super deal. It's a great way to get a Vitamix. We have talked to people who bought a certified reconditioned Vitamix like 5-6 years ago, and it's still going strong. And they were like, I have no regrets about having bought one. Was there a question, Tom?
Yes, there is.
Okay, great.
We had a question from Randy that is asking specifically, why would I choose the A3500 over a V1200?
Okay, well, let's talk about that.
And let's put the 64 ounce back. Let's get rid of that stainless steel.
Yep.
They do have, I'll touch on some technical stuff, and then Tammy can get into the use part as well. They both have the same 2.2 horsepower motor. So they have the same core engine, the same strength inside each one.
Yep.
It does get down to programs, automatic programs, style, and sound management. We got along just fine with our V1200, and all blenders make some noise. It makes its share of noise. One use thing as an observer, standing across the room in the kitchen, to my ears, the Ascent series is a bit quieter. I believe that's because it's a metal housing instead of the plastic housing.
Yeah, and that's what he told us when we asked him about it.
Our Vitamix guy.
Yeah, Ryan. That's what Ryan said.
So that reduces some of the sound resonance there. Mm-hmm. For me, I do use the smoothie function, and I do use. So
this has, you have to tell them, this has 5 preset.
5 programs. Go ahead and jump on that.
Okay.
And then we'll talk about which ones we actually use regularly.
Right. So the A35.
And we're still on the dual camera here.
Okay. So this A3500 that we has. Do you like my English? Our daughter would be frightened, wouldn't she?
She's an English major.
English major. It has 5 program settings that are preset across here, and so they just have a little emblem on them, and then you push the one that you want to use, and it knows whether you put a 64-ounce container on here or you have put a 48-ounce container on here, and so it knows what to do based on the self-detect system telling it which container is on there. So you have a preset for smoothies, for hot soups, dips and spreads, frozen desserts, and self-cleaning. And so it knows if you're, put the 64 ounce on there and you're making a hot soup, it knows how long to run to make that hot soup, which it just makes it super easy. So I make a 64 ounce smoothie in here in the morning, and I just push that smoothie setting, and it just does its thing and makes it, and I don't have to think about it. So if you're the type of person that doesn't want to have to think about what to do and what speed and for how long, then this is really great for that. You wanted to add.
Well, I, along with you, use the smoothie function and really like having that. Yes, you can do it manually on the V1200, but we live in a spoiled society. I like pushing the button and then just have to worry a little bit about tamping and not have to mess with the speeds. And then I'm not the chef, and so I'm not like using the soup function. That would be Tammy's responsibility. But I do routinely use the self-cleaning function, the soap function, that number 5 button. I use that one a lot. That is my responsibility quite often. So I really enjoy having that button as well. Again, you could do that yourself on the V1200, but we live in a spoiled society.
Yeah.
So,
and the nice thing about it is, like, you set the smoothie setting, or if I'm making hummus and I set the dips and spreads, then I can walk away from it because I know that it's going to shut off. It's automatically going to shut off. So, you know, I can be washing some dishes or prepping something else while the blender is running, because I know that it knows when enough is enough.
Yeah.
And it will shut off for me.
So the other factor is whether you buy a V1200 reconditioned for $199 on this sale, or whether you buy one not on sale for, they're usually $299. The sale is $50 off at $249, and then we're an additional $50 off with our link. You know, even if you buy one not on sale, it's just under $300. Where the cent is going to be, you know, a bit more than twice as much. So it is a matter of managing, you know, how much funds you're going to spend. If that allows you to get into a high-speed Vitamix blender, then it's a really good day. Get the V1200, and if you want it for under $200, get the V1200 reconditioned on this sale, and you're going to really be in a good position to do high-speed blending, where otherwise you may not have that option. So it boils down to that.
Yeah, yeah. So if you're the type of person that, you know, wants it to be as simple as it can be, then the A3500 is great because you have all of those presets. Also, this is the other blender base that you can use the food processor on, because both of these, the Venturist and the Ascent, I always forget the Ascent's name, and the Ascent have the self-detect feature. So they can detect when the food processor attachment's on, or the 48 ounce, or the 64 ounce. And like Tom said, this one is just a little bit quieter because it has a metal housing on it rather than the plastic. For me, the sound difference would not be a deal breaker. You know, I think that the Venturist is perfectly great and wonderful. This one is just slightly sleeker than this one. This one's just a little bit boxier. So it has just a slightly different look. But just note, all of the blenders will accomplish the same thing. And that's the one great thing about the Vitamix. So when you're looking on the website at the different blenders, you're looking at what does it come with, you know, which size container does it have, and is it all analog, or are there presets? Is everything done by hand, like on this one? You have to figure it out yourself, or does it have presets? So it's the functions and the size of container that it comes with. Otherwise, they're all going to do the same thing. And then, you know, they come in different colors as well. So, you know, look at that. And then the appearance, you know,
if that Gold Series trim.
Yeah, like they have some that are, you know, several $100s more because they have a fancier body on them, you know. So if that's important to you, then you might go for that. If you want to go for function and a great price, then this is the one to get. Absolutely, positively. So it does everything for me that I want it to do. So again, you'll get the 64 ounce container, you'll get the tamper, and you get the base, and you will also get the Simply Blending cookbook and a 5-year warranty. So all for $199.95. So best price that Vitamix has ever had for this blender. Okay, hope that answered that. Do we want to talk about the food processor? Let's see. I'm looking for questions.
Well,
Is the Ascent the most recent? Yes, this is probably the newest model that they have.
And it's the flagship model.
Yeah.
So and in that mode, I'm going to pull up the. They're showing one color here. This is on the left as we look at it, the Ascent A3500 gold label. So if you're looking for something that's kind of a, what year was that when that particular color of green, our telephones and stuff?
Well,
80s.
it's not avocado green.
No.
It's a prettier green.
It's a prettier green. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
you
not
can see
avocado.
on the site all the different colors they've got going on with that.
Yeah.
And then the flagship kit, they actually have on here where it's just, the best of everything is this A3500 Deluxe Smart Prep Kitchen System. It is on the promotion, and I believe it is, I can't read that. It's $100 off, I believe. And it gives you the system plus all of these accessories. So the sales sheet did a better job of showing that. Let me get back to that. This picture is better because you get the machine, the food processor, and the blades.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
what Tom's showing you up there is they have different bundles.
Yeah.
So if you were interested in the A3500 Gourmet, I was looking at it, Tom.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this one right here is the maximum top of the line, get everything all in one order. This $89.95 sale.
Yeah, so I mean, if you think you want the Ascent and you want the food processor, then definitely take a look at the bundle that they have where you can get this with the food processor. So let's bring that food processor back and let's talk a little bit about it. So any questions about the Ascent or the V1200?
I'll take the Ascent out of your way here.
So, and the only reason that we have the Ascent is because when we became affiliates, they did give us the Ascent so that we would have it to show you and be able to compare the two. And the functionality of the two of them is exactly the same. I do all the same things with the V1200 that I can do with the Ascent. So that's just very important to know. And I saw on Facebook recently that some people were talking about the different models and this one's more powerful. No, it isn't true. They are all the same motor.
Yeah, all the same motor. On the top of these, one little minor detail. Okay, it's all in the details, the differences between the machines. This one has the, the little lip here.
I don't know if they can
and then
see
the rubber
that.
gasket here. You might notice the entire top of the Ascent is all this one rubber thing. So if you get a spill on here, you can literally remove the whole top and take that to the sink and wash it.
Right. And you can do that with this one as well. This one comes off too.
Right, but it's this one covers the entirety of the top of the unit. Nothing's going to spill around the edges. So that's just a great little design tweak that they did to make this one just a little bit more special.
Yeah.
So, and it does have a raised metal embossed emblem on it with the Vitamix. When you're buying a car or something, you're always looking at, what does it say?
They made it a little fancier.
And this one's just laser etched. This is an actual piece, a metal medallion. Wow.
It's so appealing to a man. I can't even explain it. Just like the stainless steel container.
I'm out of your way.
Okay, Randy says, I need purple. That's one color that they don't have, Randy. I'm so sorry. Okay, so the food processor. I believe you want to show the bundle. They have this in a bundle. And I'm going to be really careful since I cut my thumb on this morning. Okay, and I don't normally do that, you guys, but I did today. So this is the 12-cup food processor attachment. It will work on your V1200 or on the Ascent series. It has to be a blender that has the self-detect. So if you already have a V1200 or you have the Ascent series, then the food processor attachment will work on it. It is 64 liquid ounces is what it will accommodate. It's 12-cup capacity. And I'm having trouble with this with my thumb. Okay, I got it. Tom's like, be careful and not split that back open. Okay, and then it has what we would call the S blade that fits down in here. And then you have to, of course, have the lid on in order for it to work. And you have two tampers, or what do they call these? I forget what this is called. Chutes. So you have this big one here.
We'll call it a tamper and chute.
A tamper and chute, we're going to call it. Okay. And then you have the smaller tamper here to go on. And then this fits on here. And you have a release button back here so that you can just take off the work bowl. If you have this full, this is nice because it doesn't weigh as much as taking the whole unit off. And then, you can get your ingredients out of it. And then it comes standard with two blades that are reversible. And so this is thick slice on one side and large shred on the other. And then this is thin slice on one side and small shred on the other side. Now, there are additional blades that you can purchase if you want to have more blades. So there's, I don't know, I did get them out. There's a couple more blades if you want to buy additional blades. So what they've done is they've made this so that it has a very small footprint. And so, oh, thank you. And so this will fit on here upside down like this. And that is how I store it. And that works really, really well. Because I can just go in my cupboard, and then I always have my base stays out on my kitchen counter. And when I want to use my food processor, then instead of having to get everything out, all I have to get out is the food processor attachment. And so that's really great. So Tom's going to show you. They have it in a bundle, the Ascent Essentials bundle, where you will get the 48-ounce carafe. You'll get the food processor. You will get the two blades that I talked about. You will also get the blender spatula, which you can see is curved so that it will get down underneath that blade for scraping it out. And you will also get a cookbook. And did I mention the tamper? No. Oh, and then you also get, this is really great, and I love this, you guys. This is a holder for the tamper that will just fit on the side of the blender. So it just fits under there, and that way it's right there next to your blender all the time. And I love that because then, like if you need it, it's right there. You can just grab it and use the tamper. So that is a special bundle that they have for, they call it the Ascent Essentials bundle, but that will also work on the V1200.
Yeah, and then the A2300 Smart Prep system also includes where you're buying the blender with a 64-ounce container, instead of, if you don't have a blender, you would get the Smart Prep kitchen system.
Right, okay.
So, so what are you saying about...
Oh, it says that it's the Ascent Essentials bundle,
it also goes on the V1200.
But it will also, which is a little deceiving,
which is on right now,
because it will also work on your V1200, because the V1200 also has the self-detect, and so it will fit on either one of these. Does the small cup have a hole in it for liquids? Randy wants to know, does the small cup have a hole in
Does she mean
it?
the
Do you
shoot
mean
thing?
for on the 48 ounce?
No.
Is
No.
that, what? And Randy, what are you talking about the 48 ounce that has the little opening here, or are you talking about the food processor?
Or is she talking about the plunger, the small cup that goes in the chute of the food processor?
I don't know.
I think it has a hole in the bottom.
This does have a little hole in the bottom. This does. But if I'm adding liquid in it, I pull this out and then I put liquid right in the bigger compartment, if that makes sense. Okay. Let's see. Rebecca had a question about the dicing blade, but somebody answered it.
Then Gina's here, and there was a question about the 8-ounce cup assembly being redesigned, which is true. So shall we discuss that briefly?
Yes.
Okay, if you're a current Vitamix owner and you had the personal cup adapter and either the 8-ounce or the 22-ounce little carafe that went on those, you would have received an email that they want to have you fill out a response, and they will send you a decal that more clearly shows how you align the alignment arrows on the cup and the personal cup adapter. Each one has a tiny little triangle on it, difficult to see. People weren't closing them all the way or far enough and lining them up, and so there was a potential for the cup to come off, which could spray food everywhere, or you would have a sharp spinny thing there, which is probably not a cool idea. So they are doing a redesign where they send a decal for it's bigger print for us to see, to line up those arrows better. And like the folks that have the Explorian series, the E310 personal cup adapter, there is a shroud that goes around the other design that works on that, not on this one. But the Ascent and Venturist personal cup adapter will have a little plastic shroud around it that brings the level up above where the blades are spinning, should they be spinning without a cup on top of them. That's not a likely scenario, but it is a possible scenario, and they have to do the risk management to mitigate any possibility of somebody really doing it extremely wrong and potentially putting themselves at risk. Did I word that right?
I think you did well.
So anyway, that is going on. It's going on in real time. We actually have not yet received our little update kit. We will likely go on air and show that when we do. So, but it's not hindering us from using the system. We are paying attention now to making sure we close that personal cup adapter and the small cups all the way to where the little triangles meet up. You have to actually put it on the base to do a good job of that, because it's really not that easy, but it is certainly very doable.
And you did say they're redesigning them. They're working on redesigning
because what we're doing
them.
now is an update kit for all of those that are already out in the marketplace for us to update them. But the new ones, when they come available again, will just come that way.
Right.
So because we love this food processor. Tammy does. I love the food that comes out of it. And so, but it's rock solid. We wanted to make sure that there was nothing going on with it. There's nothing going on with it. It's a great product as it stands.
Okay, Randy was talking about the chute on the food processor. Okay. And so it does have a very small hole here, so...
It's not going to hold water. It's not a measuring cup.
No, it does have a small hole. So if you were wanting making something where you were going to drizzle in a little bit of liquid, then you would totally be able to do that. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that the holder for the two blades snaps onto the underside of the lid, and then this goes on top here like that, and then this is all the footprint that this takes up for storage, which is something that I also really like, because it's super easy to get in and out of my cupboard when I want to use it. So I'm just going to set this over here.
Oh, I'll do
for
that
now.
for you.
And And so I saw that
It's
Jesse,
really my job. I'm here for you to hand me stuff.
Oh, I'm
Don't get
sorry.
your stuff.
this is the spatula that they have for the blender container. So you can see how it is just slightly curved at the bottom of it, and that helps it to be able to get underneath the blades so that you can scrape everything out of it. Because I know that's a really big thing. If you're like me, you don't want to waste a bunch of stuff.
Spatula, hold
Yeah,
on.
sure.
So while we're on the spatula, if you spend the Venturist V1200 reconditioned one will not get you this, but if you pretty much buy anything else, if it's over $300, $299.95, you do get this green juice shaker bottle. It's got the little ping pong ball inside to stir things up, and that same spatula Tammy was just
Right.
describing. So if you are getting one of the other blenders, you will wind up with these automatically.
Yeah, and it was in the gift bag at the NHA conference that people just attended. So Gina and Randy got those for free.
Oh.
Very nice, and it's very heavy. It's very heavy duty, so it does a good job. All right, and I
Does
saw
it
that.
double as some kind of weapon?
I saw that Jesse answered. There was a question about the A3500 and the V1200, and the V1200 was designed as a more economical model of Vitamix blender for Costco customers. And so that is where this is originally sold as new, is at Costco.
Yeah, and it has absolutely the same 2.2 horsepower motor in it that all the other Vitamix models do. Nothing has been downgraded because it's being sold through Costco. It's just the model where the new ones are this particular Venturist V1200. That's why you don't see new Venturist on Vitamix's website.
Right, because
But-
it was created for
Yeah.
Costco, and it, you know, it does have the plastic housing on it instead of the metal, because the plastic is less expensive
Yeah.
to produce.
Yeah.
And so, but it does all the same things.
Right.
Um,
So we were actually at Costco yesterday, and we saw this unit for $329.
I think it was, yeah.
$329, or you can get it from Nutmeg Notebook for $199.95.
No, it's crazy.
So anyway,
It's crazy. It's such a great deal, you guys. That's why we decided to go live with a video, so that we could tell you all about it, because there were some people last time that missed out, and they were like, oh, I just saw your video and I just missed it by one day, and is it going to come up again? So it's good. Also, it's good through
The 27th.
July 27th. So, so you've got some time, and this is also the longest period that they've done this type of a sale for as
but
well.
why would they wait? If you want,
Well, because maybe they need to wait a week in order to get a paycheck or something.
yeah, if I wanted to Vitamix,
But it's good. But it's good until the 27th, or when they run out.
I'm only talking about my personal lack of patience.
Right.
So yeah, I'd have to order it.
Yeah. So anyway. Okay.
Yeah, no, there's time. There's strategic time between now and the 27th.
Yeah, there is.
So, and we'll leave this video up with the
Until
links
then.
in the show notes until the 27th. I'll be taking it down on the morning of the 28th.
Okay. So I'm going to let you,
With that, where are we going
since you
with it?
didn't want me to move stuff, and then these can go that way. And let's talk about the Immersion blender, you guys. So that was not good. Man overboard.
Immersion blender overboard.
Immersion blender overboard. Looks like I didn't ruin it.
No, I don't see.
I just knocked it off the island.
It just went flying.
It went flying. Indeed, it did. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the Immersion blender. So I love my Vitamix blender, and you can take your soups and transfer them from your Instant Pot or your Dutch oven or your stock pot on the stove, and transfer them to your blender container to blend them if you want to make a creamy soup. So the problem I have with doing that is one, I'm dealing with all that hot liquid, so you have to be very careful. And two, you know me, I batch prep. And so I double recipes. So that means if I fill this and I get it all blended, but I still have more in my soup pot, then I have to pour this into yet another container and dirty another container so that I can fill this again and blend it. And that's where immersion blenders come in super handy. So I have like my curry ginger butternut squash soup. I think Randy makes that one as well. And I'll make a double batch of it in my Instant Pot, and then I will just blend it with my immersion blender. So this is also on special. And here we go. And they have it as a bundle, which is really cool as well. So Tom's going to show you. So you can get it as a standalone 5-speed immersion blender for $25 off, which would bring it down to $144.95. Or you can get it as a bundle, which I'm going to show you, which you also save $25 on, and it's $184.95. And then there should be one, Tom, isn't there one where it comes with a little mini food processor too?
Yeah.
Will you look and see?
Yeah, it's in here. It's further up. Let me scroll and I'll
Okay, Tom's going to
I'll bring
scroll.
it back when I find it.
So
Here it is. I found it quickly.
oh, you're so good. Or you can get it as the 5-speed immersion complete bundle, which
And that has the case too.
yeah, and that one, and I don't have the case, which is really cool.
Yeah, and the base is there, but it's underneath where it says bundle and save. If I click on it, it should take me to the page. So we can
Right.
see.
Let's see what we've got there. Okay.
Photo, please. There. Okay.
There we go.
It's still buried behind this sticker. Oh my goodness.
That is so funny. Okay, well, I can show them what comes in that.
Okay.
Okay, so there's different ways to get the immersion blender, and if you want to just buy the immersion blender by itself, you absolutely positively can do that. So you have the two pieces and they just click together. You put it on, you twist it, and it clicks into place. So this has a 625-watt motor. Let me tell you, this baby is powerful. So they've made it so that you can do one-hand operation, and so the off-on is on top, and then it has 5 speeds, and so with your other finger you can bump it up. And I'm not plugging it in and not running it without it being in something, because I'm clumsy today. Clearly I knocked it on the floor, I cut my thumb open. I'm having one of those kitchen days. So anyway, then it has this special very unique bell design on the around the blade, and you can see, I hope, that it has little cutouts there as well. So they designed it like this. One, that bell design, the way it's designed, it keeps the blades from touching the bottom of whatever container you're blending in. Also, yes, it has 5 speeds, Randy, 5 speeds. This thing is like super powerful. So you put it in and you start on low, and then you ramp up. We have a video on YouTube showing me blending soup with it. Then these cutouts help the flow of the liquid to come in and get to the blades. So if I've just put all the chunky stuff in my Instant Pot when I'm making my curry ginger butternut squash soup. The chunks of butternut squash, the onion goes in whole, the garlic, the apples, I just core them and throw them in there, and then cook it, and then I use my immersion blender, and it gets it so smooth and creamy. So as many of you know, Chef AJ was recently sick. She lives not very far from me, and so I made her a blended soup. I made her cauliflower bisque and took that to her, and she called me and she said, "How in the hell do you get that so creamy?" She was like, "Mine does not come out that creamy." And I said, "I use an immersion blender." And she said, "Well, I use an immersion blender too." And I said, "Well, I use the Vitamix immersion blender." And I said, and it is super powerful, and it makes everything super creamy, velvety smooth. It's amazing. And so, anyway, then you just put this down in there. You wait until you have it in the liquid before you turn it on, and then you shut it off before you pull it out, okay? And then it easily comes apart, and I can't do it because I cut my thumb. You can take it apart for me. And it comes apart, and then you can wash this, and then it's ready to go for the next use. So you also, if you get one of the bundles, then you will get this 32-ounce container that you can actually blend in this as well. So this will go down. As long as you have a 3-inch opening or larger, then you can use the Vitamix Immersion blender. So I will make sauces in this, and it works great. You can also use a 32-ounce, which would be a 1-quart canning jar as well, with the wide mouth. It has to be the wide mouth so that this will go down in it, and you can blend in that. And it works really great. So you can make salad dressings or sauces in a 32-ounce container, or the Vitamix container that comes in the bundle, and you can make some smoothies. Now, they can't be smoothies that are like solid greens, not the kind that I would normally make in this one, but you can make some green smoothies, some fruit smoothies in a 32-ounce glass jar or in this container. So a lot of people are asking me recently, you know, how can I make smoothies when I'm on the road, when I'm traveling? Well, this would be an option. And in the one bundle, this comes with a little carrying case that is padded, and then you would be able to put that in your suitcase and take it with you. Because it has the blades on it, I don't think that they would allow this in the carry-on. I think you could only put it in your checked luggage if you are flying. Okay, and then in some of the bundles, you get this little standing case. I'll tell you, I honestly don't use this myself. I suppose if you used the hand blender a lot and had it,
kept it on your counter,
and you could just keep it out on your countertop, and you could do that. But it holds the blender and the 32-ounce container, and the 32-ounce container does come with a lid. Okay, I'll show you what I do use and love is the little mini food processor. This thing is fantastic. So the same motor clicks on it, and then you run it the same as you do when you're using it as an immersion blender. And now you have this really cool little mini food processor, and this thing is so powerful. It's fantastic. And also it has 3 blades. Oh, Tom, I'm killing my thumb. Okay, it has 3 blades, and it does a great job. So I use it for chopping up nuts. You can make a small amount of like date paste in it. The capacity is 32 ounces. So it's great for all those small jobs where you don't have enough food to use the larger food processor, but you still want that kind of action to get it nice and blended. So this works really great, you guys. I love it. I'll make the faux parmesan for my grandkids in here, so it'll blend up cashews, or I use almonds, and it works great. So very handy. I love the size of it, and it does a great job. It works better than my Cuisinart little mini food chopper, little mini food processor. So I love that. So look at it. You can get the immersion blender by itself, or there's a couple different bundles that you can look at. Now in a couple of the bundles, you also get the wire whisk attachment. I have not actually used this yet, but what we would use it for being whole food, plant-based, since we don't, it would whip like meringue and that kind of thing, but aquafaba. So you would be able to use this and blend up aquafaba in it. So that would work really great. I just haven't done that. I haven't made the meringue with the aquafaba. I did make it was a mousse, a chocolate mousse, where you whipped the aquafaba with a little bit of cream of tartar to help it stabilize, and then blended it with melted chocolate, and it was super rich but really delicious. And I don't remember where that recipe came from, but it was something that I had found online. Okay, how are we doing? Do we have questions?
The link I dropped in the chat about the little Vitamix Days Immersion blender and food processor demo, that's actually an unlisted video, so you won't see that on our site. I didn't find a standalone video of just demoing the Immersion blender. Was it just part of Vitamix Days?
I did one. We did it one time when we were having AJ and Charles over, and I blended the soup.
And some other kind of, it's not under that title then.
I wonder how we did it.
Okay, well, I'll have to take a look at this one and see if it's something I can update, because it's like 2 years old from an old promotion. So
all right,
have to see.
Okay, so I'm just looking to see if there's any other questions.
Yeah, because we're at an hour, so we need to.
Randy says you got to live dangerously, Tammy. Okay. Jessie says her current immersion blender is 1,000 watt with 2 speeds, but it doesn't seem very powerful. I can tell you that this one really is, and some of it I think has to do with just the way that they designed it and the way the bottom of it is designed, because it has so much suction power. It's amazing. Oh, one thing that I forgot to point out is that this little blending container that you get with some of the bundles for the Immersion blender, it has the same design as the containers for the blenders, and that is to just help create that vortex and bring everything spinning and down into the blade. And so that is, just one of the engineering designs that Vitamix has come up with, and it works great. It works really great. Okay, so any more questions?
Here's a blending picture. Do you want to see this is the...
Oh yeah, here we go.
This is the blending picture of some kind of soup that had sweet potatoes and onions, and look at it go. It's just going. And so it's totally liquefying it. And this is real time. This is not sped up or anything. And you can see those little vortexes coming to the surface.
Right.
In there.
It just does such a great job. Oh, I forgot about that blouse. I have to get that
totally
blouse out.
I totally got to download this video. And
I know. Where did you just find it?
It's unlisted. It's the 2022 Vitamix Days video.
Wow.
But it's turned off right now. It's not visible to the public.
Okay.
This is a secret.
So, and look at the steam.
Look at that.
Look at the steam, you guys. See how steamy it is?
Yeah.
And that thing just works great. And see how it's creating a vortex and sucking everything down into the Immersion blender. Look at that. And in just a couple minutes, it was completely blended and beautiful.
Okay.
Good job. I'm glad you found that.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I totally need to download that video.
And Jessie says, wow, that's definitely much more powerful than mine. Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with the just the design of it, because I've never had an Immersion blender. I've had several over the years. I had a Milthy, I had a Cuisinart, and I had, oh gosh, what was...
Did you have a Braun?
Yeah, and a Braun. The Braun was my first one. And the Milthy was a really good one too, but the Vitamix beats all of them, just because it's just so powerful. I love it. All right. Mary Pohl says, do you have any discounts if you want to buy the dry blender container? Tom, will you look on the website and see?
Okay.
So not everything is on sale this time, but and this sale will go through July 27th. But just know that Vitamix is always having sales, and when they notify us of an upcoming sale, then we always notify you guys. We don't always do a video though. So please be sure that you subscribe to Nutmeg Notebook at nutmegnotebook.com. Go to our website, nutmegnotebook.com, and if you aren't a subscriber, a little pop-up window will pop up and it will ask you if you want to subscribe. Put your email address in there, and when sales on things come up, then we send out an email about that. So it's helpful. Jessie says she's convinced that it's good.
I don't say anything on the dry blender. You know, that might come up when there's an accessories promotion, which happens from time to time.
Right. But it's not on sale right now.
No.
Okay.
No, the Explorians, the Propels, the Ascent, and then some of the legacy numbers that are still available are on the sale. So it's actually, in terms of, you know, the $50 to $150 off, it's a pretty broad spectrum of selection for the summer sale. So
it is. And it's going for a long time, which they don't normally do.
Yeah.
A lot of times their sales are only for like
a few days.
3 days or 5 days. And we've asked, could we please have a longer sales period so that we have time to reach everybody?
Yeah. And I also think they're trying to stay competitive right now with Prime Days.
Yes.
So these prices are going to be at or below what you're seeing on Amazon Prime Days. So anyway, speaking of Prime Day, we're planning on being back on Tuesday morning, day after tomorrow in the morning, time not yet programmed, to just share our top 10 Nutmeg Notebook kitchen items that may well be on a Prime Day discount. Some discounts are on Tuesday, some are on Wednesday, but I've noticed that the Breville is $100 off our air fryer over here. And there's one of the 6-quart Instapot, our favorite size of Instapot, is on a deep discount from Amazon right now. So there are some Amazon things that we're just going to share on a rundown on Tuesday morning. We're not doing the Amazon live shows anymore, but maybe Prime Day and Black Friday we'll share what is a bargain that we use in the Nutmeg Notebook kitchen.
There you go.
So,
sounds great.
All right. Anything else? That's it.
Yeah, I think that's it for today.
Yeah.
We want to thank Jessie, Randy, and Gina for being here and helping to moderate and answer questions. They have a lot. If you just joined us, this will immediately be available to re-watch, and so you can go back and see what we talked about at the beginning.
If you have a friend or relative that doesn't have a Vitamix and you think they ought to have one, you can share the link to this video with them, because Tammy did cover a lot of ground and talked about the variables in detail.
Mm-hmm.
So
absolutely. So anyway, thanks ladies for joining us. Thank you everyone for spending time with us this morning, and we wish you happy blending with your new Vitamix if you choose to get one, or if you already have one, keep using it, because they really do help us eat healthy, and when we eat healthy, we feel better. So I'm Tammy.
And I'm Tom.
And we help you get healthy and stay healthy. One Vitamix at a time.
Or one blend at a time.
Oh, one blend at a time.
Okay.
There you go. That sounds good.
See you Tuesday morning. Bye.
Bye, everybody.